Hey, Sutamas, can you hear me? Sutamas? Here.
Yes,
Alrighty. How's everyone?
good,
Good.
good.
Tell me, is this your first snowstorm?
Yeah.
For me.
Is it your
Mhm.
this is your first junior?
No.
Really? I bet you're loving this. Huh? What I tell you what wasn't fun yesterday is I tried to dig out my car from the snow and the snow was like frozen.
Me too.
Ve- Yeah, it's very
That's so bad.
difficult. But
Yeah.
somehow after I think I spent like an hour and a half doing it, and I was like, what I would do is I would step on the ice to try to
hmm
crush it, and I'd crush it. So it's like it would like soften it, and then it would make it easier for me to dig the snow out with a shovel.
Yeah. I did it by myself.
Oh,
Almost like 2 hours.
yeah. My hat's off to you, as we say. But what I did first, my first method was I had to get my car door free, so I turned on my car. I also made sure that the tailpipe there was nothing blocking it, and
hmm
the car heat helped to
Yeah. Yeah.
melt the ice. So, anywho, anybody else have any problems during the snowstorm?
No, just stuck in the house.
Yeah, it's not too bad being stuck in the house. I mean, we're still like working and everything, but yeah. I mean, even though for my regular job they said, "Oh, you have 1 hour delay." My boss said, "Well, we also have the discretion to telework, work far away." So she just gave it to us. I was like, "Okay, makes my life easier for today." So, alrighty, good stuff. Alrighty, I'm gonna share my screen here in a bit. Just give me a second. Um, alrighty, let's see what we can. I'm gonna pick what I need to. I don't get how this thing works. Entire screen. Share. All right. Can you guys see my screen right now or
Yes. Yes.
alrighty? Good. Everything's going according to plan. Alrighty, so our topic for today is good old-fashioned climatology. So spelled like this. Our change, or rather not just climatology, but our changing Earth. So we're going to talk a little bit about like climate change and stuff that the climate deals with, like weather and stuff. So anyway, so that if we break down the word right here, climatology, like um
Climate
who
change.
can if you guys remember your suffixes, what does this suffix mean?
Ready?
Yes, very good. Was that Sutamis? Very good.
Yes.
All right, so it means anytime you see a suffix with logy, it means study of. And so we see right here another, well, if we use this like a noun as a part, as opposed to like a part making it's another root word here, it would be climate. So who can describe to me what that word means, climate? So we're talking about the study of the climate. What does climate entail or include?
About the weather?
Yes. So we talked about the weather. So weather in so far, like, or it's not just like for in a short period. Like, how's the weather this week? It's like how the weather is, like how the weather is for a geographic area, like over like a 30-year period. And it's usually divided up into like different sections. Like you can have in the Arctic area or a tropical area or a subtropic, polar. So with a word like tropical, the root word being a tropic, what area of the world does this make you think of? Like name me just like one country. Any guesses whatsoever? No? No takers? Well, tropic has to do with uh like think of countries like Brazil, the Bahamas, countries in Central America. It's a specific area. It's a proper noun. Central America. It's these kinds of places. Like, think of places that have like a very rich forest, like a rainforest, very humid climate. Alrighty. What about we also have another climate zone would be temperate or continental. When you think of temperate, what would that be? Any guesses whatsoever? All right, I'll help you out. Well, think of like places.
The weather or how cold is weather?
Well, yes, we can use the word temperate to describe when something's very agreeable temperatures. Like it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's easy to go outside. The weather's very agreeable. We call that temperate. So, and such an example like this, but the temperate region or the continental region would be areas like in France or Northern Europe, uh, parts of the US. So that would be like the temperate or continental region kind of climate. Now, since we've been moving, we went from a very hot part of the world, the tropics. That's another thing, the tropics when it comes to describing this part of the world. We went from a very hot part of the world near the equator, which would be like near the equator. You guys know what the equator is?
Weather.
Yeah, it's basically the center of the earth. Like if you're thinking
Same
of I'm sorry?
line?
Yeah, it's a
Line?
line. Like it's right, it cuts the earth in half in a horizontal way, basically. Like a sideways. So it's basically the middle of the earth and it's really hot usually. That's the hottest part of the whole world. So the equator. Thank you, Sabrina. So and then if we move up, we get to the temperate regions. And then after all these words, which one do you think would be places like Canada or Russia? And then again, parts of the US like Alaska. So we already got continental, temperate, tropical, subtropics. That'd be like subtropic would be like Florida and parts of the southern United States. So what does that leave us? The polar, maybe? Yeah, that would be like the polary. That would this would be the polar regions. So very cold. Parts of it humans can't even live. When it comes to the word polar, what is an animal that has the word polar in it?
Polar bear.
Yes, excellent. Polar bear. Because it inhabits like you're getting closer to the north and south pole. Hence polar, if you think of it like that in such a way. So, alrighty, so our first slide for today. Let's see. b- Before we really get into like the meat of the subject, we're gonna go over an idiom. Very common. People still say this to this day. To kill two birds with one stone. Let's see. I have an illustration of it right here. Actually, yeah, here's the illustration. Kill two birds with one stone. And obviously, these two birds, I guess they look kind of like chickens or something, but two birds, one stone. It just doesn't add up. They're portraying them as policemen. They're investigating a crime, and there's one stone and two birds, and obviously they're both dead. So, anybody want to take a guess what we mean by this in English? To kill two birds with one stone. What does that mean? I one guess. I'm just one person. Take a guess.
I think like when you do one action, but you got like two benefits, something like that.
Yes, very good, Sutamus. So basically, you're getting two things done, but with one action. That's basically what it means. And here's our explanation: get two things done with a single action. Some examples. Alrighty. She usually does her homework while she rides the bus to school. Is that killing two birds with one stone? Well, she's going to school, so she's getting to where she needs to be, and she's doing her homework. So that's two things and what with one action. So to kill two birds with one stone, he tried to dry his clothes in the oven while he cooked his food. Do you think that would work?
No.
I'm So if you were to try that, I don't know, maybe it would work. I mean, think about it, if your clothes were like wet, they might cause like vapor. It wouldn't be good for the food. It wouldn't be good for the food. And then also there's two words. So you might end up burning clothes. And then sometimes what's used, another word for burn is to scorch. That's when you like if you iron a piece of like a shirt, what have you, shirt, pants, but everybody knows what I mean by an iron, right? An iron, something to make you make the clothes flat on an ironing board. Anybody not know what this means? We're good. All right. So if you leave the iron too long on the piece of on a shirt, you'll scorch it. You'll burn it. That's another word for that we have. Usually used in this context and too. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna work out for him. All right, the third example. Chris killed two birds with one stone by watching two different Star Wars movies on two different TVs at the same time. Well, that is killing two birds with one stone, but I don't know if that would work because I don't know about you, my attention span, I need to focus. I need to look at one screen. If you're looking at one screen, you're obviously going to miss out what's happening on something else. I mean, these are not very serious example, but as long as you get the idea of what it means to kill two birds with one stone. Alrighty. Class discussion. Should animals have the same rights as humans? Why or why not? Before we get into the class discussion, I have an art this when I read this, I this reminded me of an article because at first glance, you might think, "Oh, that sounds ridiculous." Oh, animal. I mean, animals are not human. I mean, an animal cannot even conceive of what a right is, a human right is. Like, you can't explain legal issues to a cat or a dog. But um, here's an article. This is from the BBC. This is the newscasting agency in Great Britain. Read the title. Someone read the title. Actually, I can read the title, and then we'll go through this article a little bit. And this might interest Mauro because he loves dolphins. Dolphins deserve same rights as humans, say scientists. Alrighty. Who wants to read this from here, dolphins, to let's say to humans? Who's my first volunteer?
You can read it.
Who? Pana?
Gonna pack.
Alrighty, perfect. Do you need me to
Panapa.
do you need me to zoom in?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. Let me.
All right, perfect.
All right, hold on. Let me. Alrighty. Have at it.
Can I start now?
Yeah.
Dolphins should be treated as non-human persons with their rights to to life and liberty. Respect. Scientists meeting in Canada have been told. Experts in philosophy, conservation, and animal behavior want support for a declaration of rights for cat catechins. Catechins.
I'm actually says I think it's pronounced cetaceans, but
Oh, okay.
I'll get back to you. It's a this is a classification of
Cetacean.
of what this is a classification where dolphins belong to. But I'll get back to you on this because I'm not even sure if I've seen this word before. But before we go on, the word philosophy. What does that word mean? Who can describe philosophy?
Philosophy.
Hmm.
Um, it's
We'll go through
something
the. Go
like
on.
like vision for the life, something
I'm sorry.
like vision for the life,
Reach.
or
Well, you're on. I think you're on the right track. So if we look at the root words, like as I excuse me, it's just a second. Philosophy. So philos meaning it comes from the Greek. It means love, and then we have Sophie comes from the Greek meaning wisdom. So it's like a lover, someone who loves wisdom, but it kind of another kind of synonym for philosophy or a here, excuse me once again. Philosopher would be a thinker, somebody who likes to think, they ponder or think. And what another synonym for to think or wonder about things would be to ponder. Usually it's about like they think about the meaning of life, the origins of everything, uh, just and reason and logic. Trying to figure out what life, existence, all this stuff. Alrighty. All right,
Can I
conservation. We
continue?
just one more conservation. We've been over this word before, but I just need someone to remind me like what this word means. Conservation is the noun. Conservation is the noun. What is the verb? The infinitive form.
Um, sir?
Yeah, yeah, excellent. To conserve. When you conserve something, you try to keep it as it is. So you keep something as it as it is. Conserve, preserve, kind of like related to preserve. So, all right, so we got experts. Experts, like these are people who have a lot of knowledge in a field of study, a lot of knowledge. Like they know, like they're the top in their field. Experts in philosophy, conservation, animal behavior want support for a declaration of rights for cetaceans. Alrighty, very good. Go ahead, continue.
They believe dolphins and whales are
Sufficiently,
sufficiently
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 good,
intelligent to justify the same ethical
very good.
considerations as humans, recognizing recognizing right
Recognizing,
recognizing their rights would mean an end to whaling and their captivity or their use in ent- entertainment.
very good,
They move.
Anapa. Alrighty.
Is it okay?
Before we continue, so one thing I wanted to talk about is you might notice this is a British news, so their spelling is slightly different from the American spelling. So whereas right here we have recognizing, what's the American way of spelling?
Recognize,
Is
recognize.
but what there's one letter I need to change to make this an American version. Or turn this into the
Z
American version. Yes.
Z.
Yes, but where am I putting it? I mean, I pretty much gave you the answer. It's right here, right? Recognizing. They're good. By the way, it's notice how it's talking about whaling. What does that mean? What does it mean to whale? Or what does it mean? What does whaling mean? Like there really isn't truly a verb to whale, the infinitive, but
Like racing.
sorry?
No, I have no idea.
Say it one more time, please.
Like a racing the whale.
Raising the
Okay.
whales.
Yeah.
Well, well, so we have the word fish, just it's the animal. We have the or the yeah, we have the animal, the fish, and but to fish, or if you want to use the gerund or the present, the present continuous, fishing, like as in I like to fish, or I like fishing. When we use that as a verb, it means like to capture them, to capture the fish. You throw the line out, and the fish bite the hook or the bait, the bait is like the piece of food that's on the hook. On the
It's
hook.
this wallet.
So basically, the concept is like when you're whaling, they're capturing the whales because some countries they eat whales. like in
Mm,
Japan. And I
mhm.
think in some Inuit cultures they eat whale blubber. And I think their whales get harvested for other reasons, but food is one of them. So another way of putting it in this is they want to put an end to hunting. Everybody know does everybody know what hunting is?
Yes.
Hunting. To hunt whales, basically. And to also or to captivity. Captivity, so basically with that a captivity, I'll give you an example like of what captivity is. I mean, it has the captivity has the same root as capture. And when you're raising an animal in captivity, it's like an example of captivity would be a zoo where the park where you go see the animals. They're out of their natural environment, are out of their natural in. Give me a second. And raised in a secluded environment. So like a zoo, basically. Um, or their use of entertainment. By the way, I in the United States, when I was a kid, there was a very famous whale. I can't remember the park where but in some parks in the US, they use dolphins and whales as for performance. And there was this very famous whale like 30 years ago called Shamu. I'll show you. I think this Shamu whale. Yeah. These see like this. Shamu Show, SeaWorld. The whales perform tricks for people and everybody's amazed. So that's what it's talking about when it mentions entertainment. So, alrighty, where's our article? Alrighty. Who wants to keep going? Who wants to finish out this part of the article? The sooner someone volunteers, the sooner we can get through this. How about Sabrina? I'm gonna have to pick somebody if no one volunteers. Sabrina, it's your turn. Go. I want you to read from the
Mhm.
to
The move,
implications.
mm, I don't see teacher woman. The move was made at the annual meeting of the
So,
American.
all right, very good.
No,
But when you're pronouncing this, it's annual. So we don't pronounce the U very like long. It's a short A, like annual.
annual
Very good.
annual meeting of the American Associate for
Wait,
the
association.
Association for the Advanced of Science.
Very good.
A A A A A
In
S
yes,
N
A yeah.
N
You're saying oh, I thought you were saying in yeah, yeah, AAAS. Oh, wait, I'm
A
sorry,
A A
AAAS.
S.
Some people
Okay.
might say triple AS, triple like 3. There's 3 A's.
Okay.
I've never heard of this organization. I don't know. Maybe they would say that, but
Okay. In Vancouver, Canada, the world's biggest science conference.
very good.
Continue.
Yes, please.
Okay. It is based on years of research.
So remember, we don't in like well, typically almost always. I can't. In fact, like I think always, almost always, we when an R is at the beginning, we don't have the silent R like you have in Portuguese. An R is always pronounce like research, like read
research,
research.
research that was
Ha-
show
has
has show dolphin
sure.
and
So
warriors.
Sabrina, it's
Uh,
this word is the past participle version of show, shown, shown.
Strong, strong.
All right, keep going.
Dolphins and walrus have large, complex brains and a human-like level of self-awareness.
Self
Awareness.
awareness,
Awareness.
self awareness. So self awareness, it's like a compound word, meaning they could recognize they exist. Like
Mm-hmm.
humans, we know we can recognize that I'm a human being. I exist. I am. Some we don't know. As far as I know, most I think people who study animals or animal behavior, they may not recognize like, oh, I'm a cat. You know, a lot because you know how a lot of animals, if you show themselves in the mirror, they either won't react or they'll act like they'll think it's a totally different animal.
Okay.
So, but we humans could recognize ourselves in the mirror.
Mhm. Okay.
All right, keep going, please.
Okay. This has led the experts to conclude
Conclude.
that conclude conclude that a lot now women, dolphins, and warriors are people in a philosophical
It's a hard word, so philosophical. So we got five syllables. Philosophical.
philosophical
Yes.
stance with us far reaching in implication.
Very good. Alrighty. I don't want to spend too much time on this article, but is there anything in these last three paragraphs that you don't under any word or compound word or anything you guys don't understand? I explained self-awareness.
Mm,
Sabrina, is any
no,
words you didn't understand?
yes, I see. Yes, yes, yes.
Which word?
Oh no, I understand.
All right, good. Does everybody understand the word implications?
Mm,
Implications. We went over this
see,
in class a couple weeks ago. Remember so there's the verb, the infinitive to imply, the gerund or present continuous implying. I imply or here's the different conjugations. He, she implies or usually a very common phrase, it's implied. There we have the passive voice, it's implied. So, and I can use an example. So, he's wearing a Denver Broncos jersey. Jersey is like the sports uniform. So, if he's wearing a Denver Broncos jersey, it's that implies he likes the Denver Broncos. This is a NFL team. or American football. So basically, without stating it, without outwardly saying or making a statement or saying, "I love the Denver Broncos," it's implied because of what he's wearing. Does this make sense to everybody? Or do you guys want another example? Oh, I'm sorry, I misspelled. He likes the Denver Broncos. Or you could say he loves the Denver Broncos. He's a fan of the Denver Broncos. Is there anybody who doesn't understand? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, good? All right. Alrighty. So let's go back. So let's have our discussion. I want like I want active participation in this. So should animals have the same rights as humans? Well, I mean, I could just start the discussion going. Well, I mean, not the same as humans because obviously my opinion was they don't have the same mental abilities as humans do, but I'm all for treating animals like nicely. Like there's I'm very against here to be a summary of I'm against animal cruelty. Cruel, like mean, not nice. But there on the other hand, the other argument is, we humans, we eat animals all the time. We eat chickens like no tomorrow. We eat cow, beef. I'd like at least three people to tell me their opinion or what they think. Who wants to go? Like I said, the sooner we get this done, the sooner we can move on. And the sooner we move on, the quicker this class can be over with. All right, I guess I'll just have to pick somebody. Let's see. Laura. Laura, you there? Laura, can you hear me? Can anybody hear Laura?
I don't know, louder, teacher. I can't. I
No one
can't.
can hear.
I mean, did you speak at all?
Hmm? Well, somebody besides I mean, Sabrina, I've heard you. Hanukkah, I've heard from you.
Uh,
Sutemis, I've heard
Yes.
from you. So somebody besides you three. Carolina?
Okay. Um,
So
if
remember,
the animal,
speak very loud.
me?
Actually,
Hello, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, Carolina, but talk loud because your voice, the audio is very low. I can barely hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyways, let me know if I'm not speaking like in the correct volume. And in my personal opinion, uh, I mean, we should start like regular, regular, start like making a regularization
right? You
about all the
regulate
farm
we
animals?
so the
A
word you're saying is
regulation?
okay. So I think it's it would be like
Regulation?
this regulation.
Yeah, we start to like like thinking about how to regulate how we
Okay.
are treating farm animals, because even we eat many products of them. When you go and try to get like a deep vision in that industry, is is so hard for them. It's too much.
Mhm.
So we should start like doing something about that, and also about the rest of the animals. Just they should have like a real right for them, because there's
Mhm.
some people that just think that okay, I have my dog, and because he is like in the backyard, and sometimes I give the water and some food, that's good, and it doesn't work in that way, you know. So I guess more rights for them would be better, because there's people that is just bad. It's
Mhm.
yeah, they don't even take care of them, so they really treat bad animals.
Yeah.
And because they think that are animals and don't have like the same kind of sense of us, they think that they are just good and are not good. They also are sensitive. So yeah,
All right.
that's my
Thank you.
opinion.
All right. Thank you very much, Carolina. I'm going to use a phrase. It sounds like we're of the same mind. Of the same mind. So basically, we have more or less the same opinion. Like it's a way of saying we agree on something. But yeah, it's funny. Like you made me think when it comes to animals, we don't treat them all fairly. Like cats, dogs, we give them affection more so than a chicken, right? Like we give more affection to pets, cats, and dogs, for example, than livestock. Livestock would be like cows and chickens, like animals that we eat. You guys
And
see this
also
one?
those animals, those I'm sorry, those animals as the horse or donkey that help people like carrying things or carrying them.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
sometimes there's a really big people like they have a lot of weight, like overweight, and they
Mhm.
going on the animals. That's crazy.
Yes,
If
yes.
your knee cannot carry that weight, why you put the animal to do that?
Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah.
So, this was years ago, but I remember, 20 years ago, I read an article that said even our pets are overweight. Yeah, obesity is a common problem with animals these days. Overfeeding, like, and I also saw this. It was an article. There was this little dog. It was like it was a. It was, I think it was a medium sized dog, and I think the healthy weight. It was a medium sized dog. You know, it should have a healthy weight of like 30 to 35 pounds. I'm sorry, I omitted the noun. And I think this one dog, he weighed, all right, I'll say this weighed 70 pounds. Oh, by the way, this is an abbreviation. LBS is abbreviation for pounds. And 70 pounds, I think that would be like it's I know the rest of the world use kilograms. I can't think of it at the time, but it's basically the dog weighed twice as much. And the owner, you know what the owner fed the dog? It was beer and donuts. This owner, he fed his dog nothing but beer and donuts, and the dog got huge. They had to make the dog swim in a pool to get it to lose weight. So, anyway, one more person. I know I said three, but I'm gonna cut it down to just one more. And I know I asked Laura. So, Laura, can you please give us your opinion?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sure. So I agree with Carolina, but I think so. Um, I consider that the animals are the same like a babies. They don't have
Babies.
so they don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So also I disagree
Mm-hmm.
with the animal abuse. So I think so. Um, like the government maybe can put fines
Mm-hmm.
when people doing that.
Be against, like, put up. You mean put up a fight or like make regulations against something?
Yeah.
All right, very good. So, but you touched upon what you were talking about, both because you think of animals like babies, and this is similar in insofar because I mean humans. They say humans can manipulate the environment. Animals, babies, they can't really, not as much anyway. They can't use. They don't use tools as much. I mean, monkeys have been seen to use tools, but babies, if you leave them out in the wilderness, they will likely die. So we say this helpless. They cannot be helped. They can't help themselves really. Like that's what it means to be helpless. Like cannot help themselves. And when it comes to in many respects, animals are like this. I mean, animals are very good at surviving in their own environment, but like in a human, like a dog, not so much. Like, if you put a dog in the wilderness, it will have a much tougher time than a wolf or even a fox, like something that is a wild animal. So we contrast like pets are contrasted with wild, or I should say domesticated animals are contrasted with wild animals. So who wants anybody know the meaning of the word domesticated? Anybody want to take a guess? Well, a key word here, dome, this comes from the Latin meaning a, a house, a home, and a dog or a cat that's been inside an animal that lives or around humans or lives with them is domesticated. They've gotten used. They've lived with humans so long, they've gotten used to them. And they say like dogs can recognize human facial expressions. That's how close they've gotten with humans. Does this make sense? Anybody confused about the word domesticated?
Yes. No, for me it's clear, teacher.
All right, very good. It looks like Sarah, did you have something to say? I saw you raised your hand. Sarah? Oh, look, it looks like did she leave? Can't see her. All right, well, the show must go on, as we say. Alrighty. Good discussion, guys. Very good. We went from talking about the climate to talking about to animals' rights. All right, I have another idiom or an idiomatic expression for you. Steal someone's thunder. To steal. Steal someone's thunder. Who wants to give a guess what this idiom means?
Like steal somebody idea.
It's not so much very good. That's a good guess, but it's not so much about idea, but imagine think of something like for instance, I'm trying to think of a good sport, or some kind of a competition. Let's say you're running a race. You are first person that about to cross the finish line. You're running the race like in the Olympics. Let's say 500-meter dash, and you're in first place. But then all of a sudden, the person in second place, right at the last couple of seconds, gets ahead of you and takes first place from you. They win, and then everybody cheers them on. So they stole your thunder. Does this make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Um, let's go to the next idiom right here. To steal someone's thunder. To steal someone's thunder means to take all of the praise and take the attention away from someone else. Examples. Here, let me zoom in a bit. Let's see. I was going to tell my family I was getting married, but my sister stole my thunder by saying she is pregnant. So obviously, that means the news that she was pregnant was a bigger deal. Is a bigger occasion than getting married. More important. He thought he would win the contest until his friend got a high score and stole his thunder. Alrighty, and then last example. Many movies have tried to steal Star Wars's thunder. However, Star Wars is just so good. Meaning, so when it comes to like I'll write this well, I'll put the sentence. Comes to cinematic history. They're saying nothing beats Star Wars. So, I mean, the big Star Wars originally started in the 1970s. There was in 1978, I think it was called The New Hope, Star Wars The New Hope. And then there's Star Wars Return of the Jedi that came out in 1980. And I think maybe in 1983 or maybe 84, it was The Empire Strikes Back. And apparently those are what we call blockbusters. Blockbusters are movies that they leave them. They're so important in what they contributed to culture that they left a mark in history. They're almost like historical, like Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, and so on. But in my lifetime, the I would say I wasn't around for Star Wars, but I would say like The Matrix was a big deal. Although people hated most people didn't like the second movie, but it was still a big deal. And then the Lord of the Rings trilogy was very it was a blockbuster for its time. So anybody can think of another blockbuster movie or one that was really important for their time? What?
Okay.
Yes, Sabrina?
No.
No?
Hmm.
Titanic.
Titanic, yes. Excellent. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh.
Excellent example, Carolina. I so on a personal note, when I was 9 years old, my family took me to go see the Titanic. It came out in 1997. It was Christmas Eve. and I mean, I didn't like so much the romantic part of it, but I just thought the drama of the sinking and everybody doing what they can to survive, that was pretty amazing to me. Alrighty, let's see. So we talked about the different climates of the world, right? You know, in Brazil we have the tropics. Maybe in Florida we have the subtropics. We have the dry areas like the desert. Like in Saudi Arabia or much of the Middle East. We have dry areas in the United States. You know, we almost have a little bit of everything in the US when it comes to different climate. And we've and Sutamis earlier brought up a good point. Like climate usually has to do with the weather, but it's in a more much more broader sense. Like over what's it like 30 years like it's how consistent is the weather after like over 30 years. So for instance, like here in this area, the climate is very temperate. It's very we have 4 seasons, you know, spring, autumn, winter, and summer. And that's consistent year after year after year. I mean, it's different a little bit like I've had years where we got snow in March or we got the fall seemed to come quicker or come later in the year, like the leaves change sooner than last year, but it's still relatively consistent. And I've lived also in other parts of the world, like where I lived in Brazil and I lived in the Middle East. And I remember in Brazil, they divided their seasons up in and dry, wet and dry seasons. Not so, it wasn't about 4 seasons, it was wet and dry seasons. In 3 minutes, we're taking a break, Junior. 3 minutes. You can wait. It's a little bit longer. Wet and dry seasons. Like, and I remember during the wet season in Brazil, it rains every single day. I mean, maybe not every single day, but almost every. And when it, as we have a saying in English, when it rains, it pours. Pour meaning like it's raining really hard, a lot. And then in the dry season, I don't think you ever see in the dry season you don't ever see rain. You have to drink a lot of water. You drink a lot of water to hydrate yourself. Hydrate meaning to replenish, to hydrate means to replenish, which replenish means to refill, like refill to a comfortable amount, refill your fluids. Your alrighty. Sabrina, do you agree? That's how Brazil is?
Yes, teacher, I agree.
How would you describe it?
Yes.
Do you miss the
Yeah.
weather down there, or do you prefer the weather here in this part of the US?
There is common people drink a lot water, teacher.
Drink a oh yeah.
Yeah, here no,
Mhm.
not the same.
Yeah, so here's one thing. So the climate can affect the climate can affect culture, how people
Yes, yes,
culture,
yes,
can it?
yes. Brazil very hot.
Yes. So I've met when I was in Brazil, I mean, actually I didn't know this at the time, but I learned that Brazilians take 2 showers a day. It's very common.
Yes, three,
Becau
2 or 3.
2 or 3, yes. Because
Yes, out there.
it's so hot and you sweat and you feel you probably it's to be clean, you probably should. But
Mhm.
anyway, we'll take a 15-minute break.
Yeah.
Um, so come back here. It says 6:30 right here. So We'll reconvene or meet again
45.
at 6:45. Very good.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay.
See y'all
Yes.
later.
See you.